Good evening, everybody. Hi. So, oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. We're gonna. Oh, we have some sound effects in the background. Yes, the baby found an envelope. Oh, so much fun! Hi. Today is the 26th of January, and I'm back home. My husband is in the background playing and trying to distract me. Nice try, hubby. I can multitask. No, I can't, but anyway. So today's wrap is, yes, you're very cute. Stop it. Today's wrap is inspired by India and the flag of India, which is green, orange, and white, and then so it's white paisley, which for me is also very like India. Um, it is green, forest green, I think, pashmina that I got in the date night kit from Rapunzel, and the orange paisley scarf is from my friend. Gave it to me for my birthday. I think I told you, and it's from a local store. For you who live in Sweden, it's from Indiska. It's the National Day of India, or Republic Day, and it's celebrated because the 26th of January 1950 the Indian constitution was what's it called in English? You know, they got their constitution that day, in before they had another. So, do I want to talk about India? I was in India 2010, and that was one hell of an experience. Uh, it is a very, if you are from Europe, you might not, you might be quite shocked about India when you get there the first time. It was a beautiful experience, but it was also a very hard experience, and I learned a lot about myself. One thing I learned was actually that I can do these kind of things. I've never been out traveling much like that. Never been like away in that sense. Like I never backpacked when I was younger, and I never did those kind of things. I mean, the most I've traveled alone have been to Berlin. I love Berlin. It's one of my favorite cities. But I haven't done much traveling by myself. I went to Brussels with the school, and also with to Berlin with school, and then I have gone to Berlin twice by myself with an old boyfriend and with my husband. Not at the same time, of course, two different trips. And I always wanted to go to India, but there's never been an opportunity for me to go or travel like that. I never had the money to travel in that way. But this was a university course, and you got a scholarship to travel, a scholarship if you were attending that course. So part of the trip was paid for, and I had an extra job that got me the rest of the money that I needed, which was quite nice, and that meant that I could afford all the things you need to have when you go away. I was kind of totally broke afterwards, but anyway, it was a nice trip. But I never thought I would. I mean, I didn't go with people that I knew very well. I went with the course, and of course, I got to know these people a lot. But it was different from what I have now, and that was interesting, very interesting. On the other hand, I also ended up being very sick and had to stay at the hospital for several days in India, and that was not an experience I would ever want to redo again. but that's part of life. And when I got home, I was very sick for a very long time. Um, Actually, I think my immune system didn't really um, got a grip on itself again before I got pregnant, which was a couple of months later. And I don't talk much about this trip. Actually, I think my husband said that once, that he knows that India affected me a lot, but I don't talk about it because it's hard, and I don't know where to start, and I don't know what to say about it. Mm, so much contrast, you know. On one hand, you meet people that seem to do fairly well. They are not wealthy, perhaps, but middle class and like that. And then you meet people who have nothing, absolutely nothing, and kids that are so malnourished that they are. Um, Actually, we met a boy, so sweet, and he was, I think he was like 9 years old. And I don't kid you, I thought he was like, when you looked at him, he looked like he was like 5 or 6. Okay, I know that Swedes are, the average Swede is taller than the average person from India, but it was crazy because he didn't get any nourishment or enough nourishment. And I mean, I always, as a vegetarian, and even before I became a vegetarian, I've always held India as a example that we have, like, when we go to the, when people in Sweden start saying stuff like, but you need to give the kids meat because they will die. No, you don't have to give your kids meat. They will not die from being vegetarian, but they need nourishment. And I always say that, well, there are kids in India that actually grow and they are vegetarians, and it's not a problem. But that is kids in the higher classes in India that are well nourished and so on. And they grow and they learn and they are really, yeah, they are fine. But you have this young kid. He was so small, and it was so apparent that he hadn't got enough to eat. And I actually talked to the man who had the post office. No, he didn't have the post office. He had some kind of little shop where you could buy stamps and you could buy postcards and notebooks and um, um, like vessels. You put them in your nose and it goes water in, and you rinse your. Like he sold a little bit of everything, but he also sent packages because we went to the post office and my friend sent a package with clothes and stuff in it for gifts, and that package never reached Sweden. So um, he was more like, so it wasn't a local post office; it was more like a delivery service. A very nice man, and I spoke a lot with him, and he was taking care. He wasn't taking care of this boy, but he was like helping him to learn to go to school, and he wanted him to start. I think he wanted him to start a proper school, and he because he felt that that was his duty or something. Mm. and and in exchange, this boy ran errands and stuff for him. And we talked a lot about this, and he said that, yeah, it is because his family is too poor and they don't have enough food, and that's why he looks so young, and he needs help to go to school, and I want to put him through school. And I mean, he was working. This boy was 9, and he was working to go to school. So I mean, it wasn't only charity; it was also business transaction. But you can't imagine that. Coming from the wealthy West. I mean, I haven't felt like like that in forever. I felt like a millionaire. We had so much money. We could spend so much money on everything we wanted because everything for me was cheap there. I could buy. I mean, I bought this beautiful kurta. It's a tunic, a kind of yeah, tunic, uh, with silk in it. I mean, I couldn't dream of buying that in Sweden because here it costs money. But me living on like not the bare minimum in Sweden, but yeah, not. This was when I was a student, so I was living on student loans. So you get it, get it. It's not that it was a lot of money. I could buy silky clothes, scarves, beautiful scarves, saris, jewelry, no problem. And there was this, and there were people starving, and I felt like it was also a way of like to spend money was also a way of like trying to give something to say that yeah I appreciate what you're doing. I had some I was also doing a project and I was interviewing and stuff and we spent a lot of money on interviewing and I mean it wasn't we didn't spend money on interviews. We spent money on like we some of the people we interviewed had a shop, so we bought stuff there and we did those kinds of things because also to show our appreciation of them taking time talking to us and being so honest. But it was a hard journey. It's hard also. We were there for 5 weeks and to be alone in a foreign country, far away from home, and being sick and stuff like that. Some of our informants actually said that they were going to start cooking for us because all of us got sick and had to go to the hospital and to the doctors because of the food mostly. Yeah, so I know I don't talk that much about India, but it's touched me, and I some part of me love that country and want to go back, and I want to go there with my husband and show him all the beautiful things and show him the culture and the everything. Like when I see pictures from India on television, like videos from India, I'm like, yeah, I know how that feels. When you see I can almost feel smell the smells of India again, and on the same time, I don't want to go back because it was dirty and smelly, and it made me very sad. But maybe in a couple of years, when the kids are older, I'm not sure I want to go there with the kids. That might be something they need to experience on their own. But I think I might want to go there with my husband. I think he wants to go there too. He's nothing. Yeah, I know he wants to. So that was about India. Something that also was very hard for me. I mean, we tried to dress like the locals did, or almost. We when we were in. We started out in Amritsar, and there we bought like kurtas and salwars and churidas and stuff. And there I think we cloth-wise blended a bit because they wear what they say called suits, and that was what we wore. But when we came down to Varanasi, where we were staying most of the time, they tend to wear a bit more saris, so we didn't blend as well, but we still looked very, I think, properly dressed is the right word. And I mean, I did it because, well, for one thing is that when you get from a very cold environment like Sweden and you go to India where it's very warm, you need to have clothes that breathe and that so that you can take that heat, but it's hard to get that kind of clothes in Sweden, so that was one of the perks with buying Indian clothes. And I also think they were beautiful. But what I also felt was like, and I already felt like I don't want to go out showing shoulders and knees and stuff like that. You need to show some respect and treat people with dignity, and yeah. But what I then found out was that they, like, the view on women and women's bodies, and the, like, you should. One of my informants told me that I should tell her daughter, who was also an informant of mine, to wear a slip underneath her clothes, because it would be horrible if she showed some skin, because then she would maybe be raped because she showed skin, and that for me is so, feels so weird. This young girl was dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, and she was not looking very, it wasn't like her clothes were revealing, but to put up on this young girl, don't know how old she was, 14 maybe, 15, that it's her responsibility to dress, because men cannot handle a female body or female body skin. Felt so very strange. I mean, I know that I dress, I got it confirmed today. Apparently I dress modestly, but I dress covered. I cover most of me when I go out, and that is fine. That is my decision, and I do it because I want to. I do it because I feel comfortable, and I don't want to show too much skin because I don't want to be sexualized and I don't want to be objectified. But I will die for everybody's right to dress how they bloody well want to. I'm not the one judging you. If you want to go out in a miniskirt and a tank top, do so. And if anybody says something, yeah, they're messing around over there. If anybody says something, that is their problem, not yours, and you should be able to wear whatever you want. But and if a man can't handle a bit of skin, then that's his bloody problem, not yours. And I think that it's very dangerous to tell young girls that they should watch their bodies, and they should take responsibility for men, because men can bloody well take responsibility for themselves. Now I'm getting upset. I'm gonna try to, you know this, and most men know this, but we should stop victim blaming. And I think that we are always creating this kind of environment. So there I was, student of gender studies and religion. I'm like, what are they doing? No, you can't say that to a young girl. You can't teach her that she needs to be responsible for others and or for their sexuality. And I mean, she should be responsible for herself. And then I realized I can't say these things because I'm out of my context and I don't know anything about this. And as we've learned the last couple of years, rape is very common and quite deadly in India, unfortunately. Rape is deadly everywhere, so it's not that. But so anyway, wow, I didn't think I could actually fill a whole blog post about talking about India, but apparently I could. And now I'm gonna go and have a bath and a cup of tea. And can you hear the baby? She's laughing. And then I'm gonna go to bed because I'm tired and I'm gonna go up early tomorrow. Have a nice night. Bye.